this child in the interest of an unborn child. When we were here last time, I appointed Ms. Gonzalez to do an abbreviated home study. I've been given a copy, but I would like to first of all, hear from Ms. Gonzalez. I'm going to let you testify in the narrative, but let's start with Ms. Gonzalez. Do you feel like you had enough time, and were you able to get the cooperation you needed and everything you needed to make this, what's, I realize, a very home study done in a very short period of time?
I do, Your Honor. Mr. Ananda has been very responsive, open. I spoke with him this morning, just clarifying some things about his home and where he's staying. He has sent me pictures of him and the baby. He's feeding the baby. So yeah, I think that with the exception of the background check that is being completed by the embassy in Washington, the Malaysia embassy, I believe we've gotten as much information as we can to feel confident that Mr. Ananda is ready to parent this little girl.
All right. I appreciate the work you put into that. Do you want to just give me on the record a summary of what your report found?
Of what I completed, John, or what I?
Well, yes, what you completed and what the result of your investigation.
Sure. So I did interview Mr. Ananda and had a number of follow-up questions and conversations with him, and got background information, an idea of his living situation and income, family income. He lives with his parents who are in their 70s, I believe 72. He has two younger brothers who live within an hour of his home. And he has 4 rental homes, and he would like to move to one of them that appears to be larger than the one he's living in now. I told him I wanted to see the home the child would be going home to, and his mother I did a walkthrough with her holding the video camera, and then had her do a thorough review of the home and send me a video, which she did. And it is a government housing that was provided to the grandfather, and he's retired, so there's minimal rent on the property. I saw 2 bedrooms where there were beds, and as I said in my report, 1 bedroom, which I believe is the grandparents' bedroom, the mother didn't go into that one. I did see a bed, the door is open. The one Mr. Ananda sleeps in, I did see it's small room. It has what looked like a twin-size bed with a cabinet for closet space, and there would be room for a crib in his room, which he intends on having the baby in the room. Right now he has a combination, I believe, bassinet, either stroller or car seat, and that he showed me those, and that's what the baby initially will be sleeping in. I talked to the Malaysia embassy in Washington, and they confirmed that Mr. Ananda would not be able to practice medicine in Malaysia if he had any criminal history. They're doing a background check on him, and due to the nature of this case, they said it would take 1 week. And I verified there's no child abuse registry in Malaysia, so we couldn't do any kind of check on that. I did speak with the Anders, and Mr. Anders both of them felt comfortable with Mr. Ananda. Mr. Anders, who is in law enforcement, shared that he's had lengthy conversations with Mr. Ananda and felt confident that he is ready to parent this child and that he is appropriate. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's it. I haven't looked at my reports. They filed it, but
I did note you said a couple of things. Dr. Ananda, if you could unmute yourself, let me ask you just a couple of questions to see where we go from here. I had heard, I think last time, go ahead and unmute yourself if you don't mind.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess because I'm gonna ask you some questions, could you go ahead, let me swear you in, please. Would you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, you can put your hand down. Well, Mr. Pittman, I'm taking over your role. Do you want to ask your client some questions, or you want me to go ahead and ask the things I'm interested in?
Judge, I'm not a mind reader, so I think I'm comfortable with you asking the questions you're interested in. And if I feel like I need to follow up, I will gladly do that.
Thank you. All right, first, Dr. Ananda, have you been able to spend time with the child since we were last in court?
Yeah, now actually I'm live streaming from the hospital, from the room where I roomed in with the child. So I've been here since yesterday morning, and I've done the feeding, the diaper change, as well as burping the child together with the nurses. So far it's been so good. The child, when I talked to the nurses and also the neonatologist.
Hold on 1 second, to slow down just a little bit. I have a court reporter taking a record.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. It happens a lot. Go ahead, please, sir.
So together with the nurses, I went through all the caring of the child, and I talked to the neonatologist as well, and I was very happy that the child's health is pretty much perfect actually, in terms of whatever blood tests were done and so on, and she's feeding very well. She's cheerful, so I'm quite happy with the health aspect of the child.
Has she gained any weight since her birth?
The nurse told me 0.1 because usually they will dip a bit in the beginning. So currently 0.1% reduction, which is very, very slight.
Tell me a little bit about how you felt about your experience with the child since you've been able to interact with her.
Yeah, I've been very happy, and it's been a very, very long journey for me, 8 years plus, through a lot of ups and downs. And to finally be able to see, look at the child and hold the child in my hand was a very, very emotional experience for me. And she was all I imagined her to be, and even more, because during the pregnancy, the one of the scans showed that the head circumference was on the smaller side, and I was very, very concerned about that. But turns out that she's came out just fine. So I'm very happy with her.
And assuming the result of today's hearing is that we go back and I would agree to sign the order that I previously vacated, what is your plan with the child for the next, when are you going to go back to Malaysia? What is your immediate plan?
Okay, so for now, I've arranged an accommodation, which is very near to this particular hospital, within about 2 miles, so that if there's any issues, I can quickly bring the child back. The nurses told me next week there will be one pediatrician review of the child's general condition. So that's on one side of things. On the other side of things, the child would need to get a passport. And that, if I'm not mistaken, takes between 2 to 4 weeks. So once the paperwork is done and the child's health being good after the pediatrician review and so on, so then I can make my plan to travel.
And what kind of passport is it you're going to get for the child?
As of now, it will be US passport because the child was born here. However, in my country, there are various modalities. For example, if it's decided for citizenship in Malaysia, then there are the rules that we should follow to apply for that. Sorry.
Okay. All right. So your intent would be to stay here for several weeks while a passport is worked out.
Yes, I have to wait until the passport is ready, as well as the child's health gets a go-ahead by the pediatrician.
Have you been told by any pediatricians or anyone at the hospital how long it would be before it would be advisable to travel with the child on an airplane?
I haven't had that conversation yet. However, during the coming appointment, I plan to discuss about it. Whatever little I managed to collect, generally they say 4 weeks and above is deemed to be acceptable. However, in my baby's case, I want to get the pediatrician's input for her particular case if there's any any other things that needs to be considered.
And how long is your visa that allows you to stay here in this country?
If I remember correctly, the visa allows me to stay up to a maximum of 6 months in this country.
Okay. All right, Mr. Pittman, do you have any other questions for Dr. Ananda?
I think I have two that I can think of, Your Honor. Dr. Ananda, first question is, what is your understanding as to the need of a birth certificate from Texas to obtain that passport?
Well, documentations are important because, for example, when I'm carrying the baby during the traveling portion of it, of course, they will want to look at the documents to ensure that I am related to the child. So it would be somewhat important. However, the details of what exactly needs to be done, I will have to follow up with the relevant parties.
Yeah. And the other question I thought of was, Judge Mosey asked you how long your visa allows you to stay, but do you have a requirement to be able to return to your employer more quickly than that 6-month period?
Yeah, because the holiday, I did not anticipate any complications when I initially planned this journey. So I requested for a holiday of a duration of about 1 month, which means that in the last week of December, according to the original plan, I'm supposed to go back. However, if the paperwork for the passport, for the baby's passport, or the pediatrician's input determines otherwise, I could try to appeal or to communicate further with my employers to see if something can be done about that.
And I lied. I said I had two questions. I thought of one more based off of your answer to that. And I think I read Miss Gonzalez's homesteading, I believe you've told me, but are your parents, your daughter's grandparents, are they planning to come to Texas to meet your granddaughter? And are they able to stay a bit longer if you do have to go back sooner and bring her back to Malaysia once she is able to do that?
Yes, they are very amenable for such an arrangement. It's just that I'm waiting for the visa process to be over, and I'm hoping that in 1 to 2 weeks it will be resolved for them.
All right, thank you. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
Ms. Bell, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor, no questions.
Mr. Coldwell? You're muted.
No, Your Honor. Sorry about that.
All right, thank you. Let me hear from the department, Ms. Walls, or I don't, Ms. Chancellor. Do you have, either of you all tell me the department's position, given what are the status of this matter today?
We're just involved, Judge, to ensure that the child can be returned to the father. We don't have any concerns for abuse or neglect. Mr. Ananda has also worked with us pretty much very transparently. He allowed us to see the space that him and the baby will be residing. He does have everything he needs for the baby, and just small things that he does need, we're going to assist him with. But outside of that, there's nothing that we have of concern.
Okay. All right. Dr. Ananda, I did have one other question, and it's actually just a matter of curiosity. I noticed that your last name is different than your parents' last name.
Yeah, well, ma'am, we don't have the structure of names as it's practiced in the US. It's different. So I have difficulty translating the way it's done there to here. So I discussed with my parents and agreed that it'll be Jet as the first name, Ananda as my last name, and my daughter will follow Kanishka Ananda as such.
That was my other question. Had you decided? I think I saw it, Ms. Gonzalez's report, what you were going to name the child.
Yes, ma'am.
And tell me again what her name will be.
Kanishka Ananda.
It's very beautiful.
Thank you, ma'am. In Sanskrit, it means divine sparkle, according to my mother.
That's lovely. All right. I want to say I don't know how this whole thing got started. But I see that Ms. Walker is here from the agency, but as I said, Dr. Ananda, I'm sorry that this all happened the way it did. I will own
Okay.
that responsibility. I should have required a home study at the beginning.
Okay.
I promise you, for all future cases, especially when we have someone who lives out of the country. I don't think just because you don't live in the United States, you're not a fit parent, but I do have an obligation to ensure that children are going to be taken care of. So I want to apologize the way this went down. I think timing, circumstance, I think we've all learned a lesson. Well, let me, before I go on, Mr. Coldwell, is the hospital prepared to dismiss its intervention?
We are, Judge. I can say it on the record here that the hospital dismisses, but I'll file the notice of non-suit here in just a few minutes. If it's my expectation.
All right, and I want to thank Ms. Gonzalez for being the consummate professional she always is. I reached out to Ms. Gonzalez in particular because I have the greatest trust for her. She runs our family court services division of our domestic relations office, and I knew that she would jump on this and spend the time it took for you all to come back so shortly. This was very truncated, but I am comfortable, and I am especially comfortable with the fact that she reached out to the Malaysian embassy, and that you would not be able to work in the job you have as the government if there were a criminal background. So with that, I am willing to sign a revised order. But I guess the question is, who is going to do that?
Your Honor, because of the nature and the truncated nature of this, I took the liberty of drafting a proposed order. I have circulated that to Ms. Bell. I believe that she has approved the form, and generally in a gestational carrier, you do two orders, a pre-birth validation order and a post-birth confirmation order. Because of the circumstances, I combined those into one order rather than having separate orders. And so that is what we have already drafted, and we've already sent a proposed order. I've sent it for signatures to the parties minutes before this. I don't think anybody's actually signed it yet. If the court would like it to be approved as the form, we can certainly get that done and get that to the court.
I think that would be proper if the Anders are available and they can. I think, yes, I think that's the proper way we ought to go about that. All right, with that, you get me an order that's been approved as a form by the parties. I will be happy to sign it today so that we can get that going. And with that, the child should be able to be released from the hospital to Dr. Ananda. So that, and I don't know what other steps, is there's anything else we can do to expedite the issuing of the birth certificate? But,
Your Honor, the order that I drafted does have the normal language about issuing a birth certificate. I know that the hospital usually has what's called a verification of birth facts. We are happy if needed, since we are physically here in Austin, if those need to be sent to my office, I can have somebody in person run them down to the Bureau of Vital Statistics if necessary next week to get that expedited.
all right.
And Judge, just order of operation, with your permission, I think everyone should wait to sign off and submit any order until my notice gets in, and then that way they have all the parties.
Yeah, go ahead and file your notice, please, of non-suit as soon as we get off this. Send me a courtesy copy at the same time you file it, please, just to my submission email address.
Of course, Judge.
I will contact the clerk's office and tell them to please push that through as quickly as possible.
Fantastic.
Anyone else on the call have anything they need to add? All right. I'm glad this turned out the way it did. Again, I apologize for the inconvenience, but it was necessary. And going forward, agencies should understand. And Ms. Bell, if you're going to do this, don't expect to just file a case in Travis County where no one really has any connection to Travis County and think you're going to waive a home study. There may certainly be situations, but this judge, there's going to be a hearing every time one of these comes up. And I think that's going to be true for all of my colleagues. All right. Anyone else have anything?
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
if Mr. Caldwell will send the envelope number so we can get it pushed through when he sends his email.
Okay. And then, yes, and then Mr. Pittman, when I get your, after that is done and I get your order, we'll contact the clerk's office and ask them to push that through as quickly as possible as well.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you all very much. Dr. Ananda, I wish you the best.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.